Have you ever just looked at a price tag and wondered how? How did they land on that number? It might seem random, but it's really not. There's a whole secret language hidden in every price, and it's telling a story about the product, the company, and believe it or not, about you. So let's pull back the curtain and learn how to speak that language. Okay, take a look at this. On one side, you've got the absolute peak of automotive luxury. And on the other, an airline cabin that's, well, let's just call it efficient. I mean, they seem like they're from different planets, right? But what could they possibly have in common? The answer? They are both absolute masters of pricing. Each one has a deliberate, incredibly powerful, and wildly successful strategy behind that number you see. And if we can understand that, we can unlock the whole secret language of price. Because here's the first thing you have to get. A price isn't just a number, it's a message. It is the single fastest way a company can tell you everything about its value, its quality, and its entire identity. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The legendary investor Warren Buffett said it perfectly. He called it pricing power, which is basically the holy grail for any business. It's the ability to raise your prices without losing your customers. That, right there, is the ultimate test of a strong business. So if you're a company, where do you even start? Well, the very first decision you have to make is kind of philosophical. Are you going to price your product based on what it costs you to make it, or on what your customer truly believes it's worth? And that question really splits things into two big camps. First, there's cost-based pricing. It's simple, right? You figure out your costs, add a little markup for profit, and boom, that's your price. But value-based pricing, this is where the magic happens. It totally ignores your costs and instead asks, how much value is this thing actually creating for my customer? A perfect example, Red Hat. This is a software company that became a giant by mastering this. Their main product, an open source operating system, is technically free. Yep, you can download it for $0. So what are they selling? The value. They charge a ton for support, services, and certification, all the things that give huge companies peace of mind. They're not selling the software, they're selling confidence. So once a company picks its philosophy, it can really start to play the game, often at the extreme ends of the market. And this is where pricing starts to carve out a brand's entire identity. Let's start at the very top with something called prestige pricing. This strategy is fascinating because the high price is actually part of the appeal. The cost isn't a downside, it's a feature. It's a signal to the world that you've bought the absolute best. And of course, you know the poster child for this? Ferrari. Nobody buys a Ferrari because it's a sensible way to get to the grocery store. No way. They buy it for the engine, the heritage, the status. And that astronomical price tag, it just reinforces all of that. I mean, think about it. If Ferraris were suddenly cheap, they wouldn't really be Ferraris anymore, would they? Now, let's do a complete 180 and look at the polar opposite, economy pricing. Here, the goal is dead simple. Be the cheapest option, period. This is all about attracting customers who care about one thing and one thing only, paying the absolute lowest price. And nobody, I mean nobody, has perfected this like Ryanair. They hook you with a base fare that looks almost impossibly low, and then they charge for literally everything else, picking your seat, bringing a bag, even getting a bottle of water. They've stripped the product down to its bare bones, and their price screams it. It's not glamorous, but wow, it is a masterclass in strategy. But great pricing isn't just about picking high or low. It's also about being smart and flexible. Because, the world's a big place, and smart companies know that a single price just doesn't work everywhere. This brings us to geographical pricing. You ever wonder why a can of Pepsi or a Big Mac costs way less in, say, Mumbai than it does in New York? It's because these companies are constantly adjusting their prices based on local wages, local taxes, and what the market can actually afford. It's the same product, but with a different price tag to fit a different economy. And this idea of adapting leads us to one of the most complex and, honestly, most mind-bending strategies of all, prices that are never, ever fixed. Come on, we have all been here. You look up a flight price, you wait an hour, check again, and poof, it's gone up. Why? What is happening? It is not a glitch, my friends. It is a very deliberate strategy called dynamic pricing. Airlines are the undisputed champions of this. They use these unbelievably complex algorithms that are crunching thousands of data points in real time. Things like how many seats are left, what time of day it is, how close to the flight you're booking, what their competitors are doing, even if there's a big conference in your destination city. So here's a really simple way to picture it. A month before the flight, the airline just wants to get people on the plane, so the price is low. A week out, seats are filling up, so the price starts to climb. And the day before, well, they know anyone booking then is probably desperate, a last-minute business traveler maybe, so they can charge a massive premium. The craziest part? It's very likely that almost no two people on that flight paid the exact same fare. So let's wrap all this up. What are the big things to remember? Number one, price is a message. It's a story, not just a number. Number two, the best pricing is about the value you create for your customer, not just what it costs you. And number three, pricing is never finished. It has to be strategic, adaptive, and always changing. And that kind of leaves us with one last big, fascinating question. As this dynamic pricing stuff gets smarter and smarter, as algorithms know more and more about our personal habits, are we heading for a future where the whole idea of a fixed price just disappears? A future where every single price is personal? Now that is something to think about.